Here we go, Shabab. Question 1. The correct answer is D. So 1D, 2H, 3D, 4F, 5C, 6F, 7B, 8G, 9D, 10H, 11B, 12H, 13A, 14J, 15A, 16J, 17C, 18J, 19C, 20G, 21C, 22F, 23D, 24F, 25A, 26H, 27B, 28J, 29B, 30J. Please count the right ones and chat box to me the number of correct answers you've got. There are 30 questions. Tell me how many correct answers have you got out of 30. Let me check whether you're progressing. Of course you are, inshallah. I'm waiting for you guys to send me the number of correct answers you have got. Very good, yeah, Yusuf. For now, I mean, we still have a lot to discuss, but that's great. Good job. Anybody else? Rudaina? جويرية؟ هنا؟
مستر
Yes, حبيبي.
هو مستر التست ده يعتبر hard ولا easy ولا
That's يعني it's not, I wouldn't say it's easy or hard. It's an average level of the ACT levels because it's a real ACT. Actually, it's a real exam. It's not a practice test, it's a real test. So question 10, we have a comma splice error in F. But how about G? I don't think we need the comma in G because you think that, as I said before, we don't use comma before that. We might use comma before which, but not that. طيب, you think you then is the same error like F, which means a comma splice error because this way I didn't change anything. I just added one more word. So you think you might become ill has been made as one sentence. One sentence. You think you might be ill. You might become ill. That's one sentence, okay, which doesn't need any separator. We don't have to use any comma here. That's why the correct answer for 10 is H. Do you have a question, Yusuf? Yusuf? Or you raised your hand?
I do.
Yes, please. Your question?
And 9.
9?
Why is it not you instruction? Yeah, yes, he gave you instructions.
Yes.
So why shouldn't we just put 1 after 3, which is also an instruction? And in 5, after sentence 5, he said, despite your instinct,
yes. I'm sorry, your voice is lagging, Yusuf. Can you hear me, Habibi?
Yes.
Hello?
How
yes. I'm sorry, your voice was lagging.
I can.
Okay. 11, somebody mentioned something about 11. Okay, Shabab, the question 11 is about linking words or transitions. As we said last time, we use furthermore, however, thus, consequently, based on what the relationship between the two sentences is. Right. Here is the word. And apparently it links this sentence with the sentence before. Okay, let's see whether we need to add extra information, so we use furthermore, or we're expressing a contradiction, so we use however. We are using cause and effect. We have cause and effect, so we use either thus or consequently. Let's see. You think you might become ill. Only seconds pass before the static line, which is a rope attached to you and to the floor of the plane, opens your parachute automatically. You become ill, you do nothing. Open the parachute automatically, then this means you're not ill, you're active, you're working, which is somehow contradictory to what the idea in the previous sentence is. Contradiction here comes from the idea that you think you might become ill. Here you jump and the parachute opens and you fly and you do the job, which means you're not sick, which means it's opposite to this, which requires however, for this sense of contradiction. 12, again, a function question. The writer wants to emphasize the violent, let's see, this action, sorry, this keyword here in the question. The violent action of the parachute opening at this point. طيب. Very simply, ya shabab, we need the answer that gives me the sense that the parachute was violently opening. It's not just open. No, it opened in a violent way. Okay, now let's see what we have. The first choice is the floor plane becomes tight and opens. He did not, this part here or this choice here does not tell me that it opened violently. No, it just tells me it's open. Okay, tightens and opens, the same. I don't have any sense of violence here. Quickly becomes taut and opens, the same. It does not tell me that it opened violently. How about H? Becomes taut and yanks open. It's like when you say in Arabic, ده خرج ورزع الباب وراه. Yanks open. It's like pop, not just opens, it yanks open, which means it opens violently. That's why the correct answer is H. Okay, are we clear on 12 now? Yusuf, for 11, Habibi, we said many times before that we need to understand the relationship between the two sentences. For 11, Shabab, we need to understand the relationship between the two sentences, the sentence before the linking word and the sentence after the linking word. Here we have a sentence telling you that you think you might become ill, which is something negative. You think you might become ill. The other sentence says only seconds pass before the static line, which is a rope attached to you and the floor and to the floor of the plane, yanks and opens your parachute automatically, which means you're not sick, you are jumping, you are using the parachute, you are flying, you are not sick, which is opposite to the sentence before. And as we said many times before, since we have contradiction or things somehow against the previous sentence, we have the word however to link between these two sentences that show a contradictory relationship. I hope it's clear now. Is it? All right, now we move to question 15. Again, a function question. Function question means it's dealing with the sentence function, not the sentence structure. The writer wants to end the essay with a sentence that indicates that the narrator feels relaxed, floating to the earth. Again, here are the key words. The narrator feels relaxed, floating to the earth. In other words, which sentence is here, or which sentence here that gives you the sense that the narrator was relaxed, he was not nervous any longer? Okay, let's see. We already have to choose one of these. Realize with relief that jumping from a plane was fine idea after all. That means he's relaxed, but let's check the other options. You are relieved that the jump went well, but you still worry. Since I have this word, it's against what the question is asking here. So I will not choose this. Well, you jumped. It does not tell you anything. It does not tell you whether he was relaxed or nervous. Just jumped. D says you are fine until the next time you have to jump from a plane. You are fine only now, not until the next time, which means you might be nervous. So the best answer here is A, because it says very clearly that you realize with relief that jumping from a plane was a fine idea after all. He's not nervous, he's relaxing, he's not worried. There is nothing negative at all in A, which is exactly what the question is asking about. 17, we take the sentence from its very beginning in order to judge it well. I often asked him to teach me to play. It's about another idea, sorry, it's another passage, I mean. I often asked him to teach me to play, but I quickly grew impatient with the wheezing tiny notes that I produced. Type. Last time, if you remember, I told you that we don't use a comma before prepositions. It should be impatient with the wheezing tiny whatever. Okay, so that's why A is not the right answer, because there is a comma before the preposition with. We don't do that. We don't add comma before prepositions. And that's for the same reason D is also canceled. We don't need this type. Let's check B or C. Impatient with the wheezing, comma, tiny, comma, notes. No, we might separate two adjectives, but we cannot separate the adjective from the noun it describes. So the comma here, remember, who can tell me what kind of comma is this? Remember, ya shabab? What can we call this comma? Somebody remembers what we discussed about the commas?
Extension.
Sorry? No, the comma itself.
Extension.
No, you're very close. Remember, ya shabab, what the comma is? The remember?
Unneeded?
Unneeded, ya Gamid. Who said that? Hannah, right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, Hannah. We don't need this comma. It's unneeded. That's why B is incorrect. The correct answer is C. Impatient, you see if there is no comma before or after the preposition with. Impatient with the wheezing, comma, tiny notes. Tiny notes, I cannot separate the word tiny from the word notes, because tiny modifies or describes the noun notes. That's why C is the best answer. 18.
Just a quick question.
Yes, please. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Your voice is still lagging. Would you please write it down, Yusuf? Write your question down, please.
Voice clear?
No, write it down, please. Write your question down. Until you finish it, I will go for 18. Okay. As usual, ya shabab, we have to take the sentence from its very, very beginning, not just the underlined portion, in order to have a complete idea of what's happening in the sentence. 18. After 2 weeks effort, which I would always set the harmonica aside and had went, of course, go back to the basket, the baseball field. If I keep this sentence the same way it is, the word which will spoil the independent clause. What do I mean by this? Look here. I'm going to explain it to you in a word format. I'm going to give you some examples to see what the word which and that do for a sentence. I bought the car. Okay. Which was against my father's will. I hope you can all see my screen and follow with me. The word is not responding. Okay, it will respond. Okay. Oh. Okay. I bought the car, which was against my father's will. This is a nice or fine sentence, shabab, because I bought the car is a complete part, then comma, then an incomplete part, no problem. Right. How about this? This is the man who bought the car. Sorry, yes, the car. This is the man who bought the car. Can I take this word off? Like if I take this word here, and the sense would be, this is the man bought the car. Does it make sense that way?
No.
No, it doesn't. How about this? Huh? I bought the man, sorry, this is the man who bought the car. I think it does now. Okay? Fine? Okay, fine. So the word who here is required. If I take it off, it will spoil the meaning. Some other times, if I add the word who or the word that or any relative pronoun, like which, for example, it makes the sentence incomplete. Incomplete. Like, for example, the man who is buying my house. Now, is this a complete sentence, ya shabab, as it is? The man who is buying my house. Is it a complete sentence? Rudaina, yeah, okay. It's not a complete sentence. So how about this? Let's take the word who off. The man is buying my house. Is it a complete sentence now? The man is buying my house. Is this a complete sentence now?
Yes.
Does it make? Yes, it does. With this, it's not. With this, it is. Okay. Exactly. This very same question has the same idea. Okay. Right. If we keep the word which here, the sentence doesn't make sense. Let's read it as it is. After 2 weeks effort, which I would always set the harmonica aside, okay, I still don't know what happened. So the word which here spoiled the sentence. It makes the sentence dependent, not independent. We need a sentence complete so that we use the comma at the end of the sentence to make sure the sentence has a subject, has a verb, and it gives me a complete meaning. So I don't need either of these things. I will go for J to delete it in order for the sentence to make sense. The sentence should read, after 2 weeks effort, I would always set the harmonica aside. That means the sentence makes sense. Okay? Fine. 20. We take the sentence from here. For instance, he told me that it originated in southern China around 1100 BC. This early version, the shrink, consisted of long reeds placed in water in a wooden bowl. Taban, here we have a comma, as you can see. And before the comma, I have a complete part, a complete sentence. And after the comma, I still have a complete sentence, which means I have a comma splice error. There is a comma here. Following the comma, this early version consisted of, I have a subject and a verb giving a complete meaning, which means a complete sentence. And before the sentence, he told me, again, complete sentence. So the comma here lies between two complete sentences, which is a comma splice error, we said. So we don't use the comma that way. طيب. I will eliminate F for this reason. So here I am using a full stop, which means the sentence is correct because a full stop can separate two sentences. Of course, the same idea here. I have a comma splice error. An early version, the shag consisting. No, consisting is not a verb. Type. The person who made this mistake, Shabab, who asked me, Yusuf, okay, Yusuf, what was your problem in 20? What did you do for 20, Habib? Is Yusuf here? Yusuf?
Yes, Mr. I'm here.
What was your answer for question 20, Yusuf?
I picked J.
Do you know what the problem of J is now?
Not really. I'm not. How is China around 1100 BC? A full
Complete.
sentence.
Okay, Habib. Okay, let me highlight it for you.
Where's the verb?
Where is the verb? He told me. That's the subject.
He told me.
Okay, that's why, Shabab, I always tell you, take the sentence from its very, very, very beginning, please, in order not to miss the subject, the verb, the tense, and everything. This will help you judge the sentence correctly. Okay, right. Now we have from 21 to 26, please. 21 to 26. 25, okay. Anything else? Only 25. Okay. Use 25 the same. Okay. Anything else? Okay, let me do 25. Type. Which of the following sentences would best provide logical transition from the preceding paragraph to the new subject in this paragraph? Which means what? I need to add a sentence here in 25, okay, that introduces the idea being discussed here يا شباب. I need an introductory sentence. طبعا I cannot pick the sentence unless I understand first what the paragraph is about. I have to understand what the paragraph is about mainly so that I can judge which sentence here introduces what's being discussed here. Let's check the paragraph together. Then at age 15, I decided to enroll in blues harmonica class. On the first night, the instructor performed in a local rocket bands for years, guided the class through a tortured version of Mary Had a Little Lamb. I think it's about his decision to enroll in a class and the instructor of this class and what he did. طيب, let's see which sentence introduces this idea. Check A. Despite this accumulation of harmonica lure, I still couldn't play. Fine. It's possible because couldn't play could be the reason why I enrolled in the class. I couldn't play. That's why I went to take classes to learn how to play. Let's check B. There you have some of history of the history of the harmonica. It has nothing to do with history. The paragraph here does not mention anything about the history of harmonica. As can be seen, I had always been interested in the harmonica. Possible. Keep it in the possibility options. As the reader can see, the harmonica is in the simple children's story we so often think it is. It does not, the paragraph does not tell me about the harmonica not being soft, simple children's story. So whether A or B, I have to go back and check the paragraph. The paragraph is mainly about learning harmonica or the need to learn how to play or about being interested in harmonica. I'm sure it's about learning how to play because it's about class and an instructor and stuff like that. So he went to class because he wanted to learn how to play because he could not play. So that's why sentence A is the best introduction for the ideas in this paragraph. Now we have from 27 to 30. Final page, please. If you have any concern here, let me know, please. $28, fine. Is that all? $28. Okay, look يا شباب, the last question before we go to today's topic. As usual يا شباب, we take the sentence from its very beginning, but here there is no sentence Austin. Okay. For the sake of the unity and coherence of this paragraph, sentence 1 should be placed where? طيب, let's check what sentence 1 does. Then we decide where the best place for this sentence is. طيب, Yusuf, please, very urgent request for you. Focus on what I'm going to say, please, Joe, because you seem to have a problem with this issue. You see the word then he played. Logically speaking, yeah, Joe, then he played comes after what? Does it come after when we had finished? He said that was Mary had a little lamb. He picked up his own harmonica. This, however, is Mary had the blues. He lifted the harmonica to his lips. What logically comes after he lifts the harmonica to his lips? After he does that, this happens. He played. Would he play before or after he lifts the harmonica to his lips? Of course, he has to lift the harmonica to his lips first, then he starts to play. That's why the sentence 1 should go after sentence 5. Clear, ya Joe? Hannah, Jumana,
Yes.
everyone. Okay, Habib. It's about logic, ya Joe, and I'm sure I think we need to repeat that lesson again, but maybe when time comes, inshallah, we'll have to. Yes, Habib.
I think I know why I got some of them incorrectly. It's because I choose the answer quickly.
Oh yes, maybe you
know.
hasn't. So please don't bother yourself with timing now. We still have some time to work on the skills, build up our skills first, then we can go faster step by step. Question 5, ya Jumana, you said you didn't do it. We're in 30 now, honey, but I go back to 5 for you, no problem. Just to check everyone is satisfied. It is C, ya Jumana, yes, correct. It is C, correct. Now, يا شباب. Okay, يا حبيبتي. طيب. Lend me your attention, please, because we're going to discuss and make sure the sheet is open because we're going to use it. Look, everyone, I'd like to remind you of the word redundancy. Redundancy, يا شباب, we said, is the repetition of unneeded vocabulary words. So we have to make sure that the sentence doesn't have unneeded words. And we said redundancy could happen by either repetition or an already established meaning in the sentence. An example of a repetition is, every year, birds from the west migrate to the east on annual basis. طبعا, every year is the same meaning like annual, so this is redundancy. The workshop ended and it was over by 5 o'clock. So again, the word ended and the word was over give the same meaning. So one of them would be enough. We don't have to repeat the same meaning. How about this one? She quickly gave an instant feedback. Automatically, ya shabab, if the feedback is instant, it's quick. So I don't have to say she did it quickly. We don't need to rewrite this essay again. طبعا, rewrite automatically means again. So we don't need to have the word again since we have the word rewrite. The train headed toward the station and kept moving forward until it arrived on time. طبعا, the word headed means moving forward. So I don't have to write the word forward. He went to prison to be taken into custody. طبعا, people go to prison not to get treated, not to spend a lovely time. They go to prison to be kept into custody. So I don't have to say he went to prison. Into custody is not needed here. And as we said here, I have a big question that needs an answer. طبعا, this is wrong because automatically, what do questions need? Questions need answers. So I have a big question. I don't need this part. I have a big question, will be fine. And also when I say, make sure to pick the proper and correct answer. Proper is the word correct at the same time. So proper and correct are synonyms. So we don't have to write two of them. One of them would be fine. If that's clear, please go to question 31 and 32. Answer questions 31 and 32 and send me the answers on the chat box. '31 and 32. No, Juwairiya, you're new, Habibti. Here's how it works. Look at Juwairiya. Whenever we send an answer to Juwairiya, we have to write the number of the question before we write A, B, or C, okay? So that way I don't understand which is which. But you're right. For this time, you're right. Thank you very much. You're perfectly fine. Very good, ya Joe. Very good, ya Jumana. Rudaina and Ziad. Rudaina, mashallah, very good. Everybody's fine. Rudaina Muhammad. Ahmad Sharif. Hannah, are you still struggling? Correct, ya Hannah. Very good. Correct, ya Noor. MashaAllah. Very good, ya Hannah. Both of them are right. Ahmad Sharif, very good. Habibi, well done. Right. Well done, everyone. Thank you very much. Yes, both questions are about redundancy. Here, when I say it's usually hard to determine who first uttered out loud. So to utter is to say it out loud. So there is no need for this. So this has redundancy. Said verbally, of course, when we say we do verbal action. Gave vocalization to, that's very awkward. So the correct answer is B, spoke is correct. Then we go for 32, we say, first, yes, first wrote it down originally. When you do something as the first person, it means you are the one who originally did it. So the word first does not require originally. So we delete this. So the correct answer for 32 is J. Very, very good, gentlemen and young ladies. Let's move on, please. Have a question? I will send it to you, Habibi. Don't worry. I will tell you. Okay. Now we go for correct use of a comma. Shabab, yani comma is something very simple and confusing and tricky at the same time. So we have to make sure that the comma is correctly used. Let me remind you of what we have mentioned before. Okay. Type. A comma should be used only when needed and only when used correctly. Yani I have to make sure that I need the comma. I have to make sure that the comma is correctly used. Let's see some examples to understand more. Of course, we have these types of commas. If you remember, we have missing, misplaced, unneeded, and comma splice. Missing commas like when someone calls for help, you have to answer them. This is a run-on sentence. It has to be like this. So here, this sentence has a missing comma. We need a comma here. At the end of the day, many students, comma, thank their teacher. I don't have to separate the subject, many students, from the verb thanked. So this is a misplaced comma. I need the comma here, not here. Make sure to apply the rules, comma, of the company. This comma here is not needed at all. Plus, I told you before, we don't use commas before prepositions. The word of is a preposition. We don't use comma before the preposition. Look at the sentence. It should be like this without any comma. And the comma splice, as we said before, it's too hot today, comma, we can't go out. Both parts of the sentence are complete. It's too hot today is a complete sentence. We can't go out. It's still complete sentence. We can't use a comma in between. So we can use semicolon, or we should use semicolon instead. Think of this one, please. The main cause of the problem is, comma, the overheating. Is this comma needed, misplaced, unneeded? What case is this comma here? Comma splice, or missing, or misplaced, or unneeded, or what? Can somebody tell me, please? Hello? Someone has sent me an answer. Yes, here, Joe. Very good, Habibi. Anybody else? This comma here, it's unneeded. Yes, very good, everyone. Thank you very much. All you're right. Very good, ya Joe. Very good, ya Rudy. Very good, Habib. Let's see this one. As a child looking forward to the first time I drive a car, I couldn't sleep at night. Huh? Do we need anything here? Is it okay as it is, or we need something to separate two important parts of the sentence? Yes, very good, Yahana, mashallah alik. Here, yes, we need the comma. So the comma is missing. Very, very good, Yahana. Okay, after time, very, very good. No, I drive a car, I couldn't. So here is the start of the new sentence. I couldn't sleep that night. The scientists, comma, who tried phosphates for the first time was Dr. Albert. Is this correct as it is, or is it missing, or unneeded, or misplaced, or what? This comma here. This comma. Yes, it's unneeded. Sorry, I pressed the button by mistake. Misplaced. No, Yarudi. We don't need it at all, honey. We don't need the comma here. The sentence should read, the scientist who tried phosphates for the first time was Dr. Albert. Or, yes, here, Joe, you said this last time. Yes, you can add another comma here in order to make this whole part non-essential, surrounded with a two commas. Right. Let's go for question 33, please. Answer question 33. Check if the comma is properly used or not. That's exactly how we can judge a comma, by posing. Like a comma in punctuation in written words is like the pose when you speak. Okay, so if you see yourself stopping somewhere which makes you sound awkward, that's not a required comma. Okay.
Yeah, but what about C? Have you ever said?
Asking... Oh yes. Okay, let me see. Question C. Have you ever said? No, Habibi. the sentence is not complete here. You don't have any thought so far. Have you ever said you were? How you were, the whole thing that comes after with you were until the end is the object of said. Like I said a word. Where's the object here, Joe? I said a word. Where's the object here? Hello?
Word.
Word,
Said
very
word.
good. Yes. Can I add, I said, comma, a word? Do I need it? Huh?
No, you don't.
Of course, that's the same case with the whole phrase, you were tongue-tied. That's the whole thing. The whole clause here, or the whole phrase here, acts like an object, like one word. So the whole phrase is like, or actually it's a clause. The whole clause here acts like an object, so you cannot separate the object from the verb here. Okay? That's why it's not needed in C.
Okay.
Okay, Habib. Now let's go for verb. Jumana, you are the one who asks for this one. Verb tense يا شباب. Verb past participle form. That's very simple, but I have to remind you with this. Verbs usually have three conjugations, as we all see. We know we have present and past and participle. We have play, played, played. That's very simple. Study, studied, studied. Work, worked, worked. But they are not all the same. Sometimes we have speak, spoke, spoken. Draw, drew, drawn. Beat, beat, beaten. Bite, bit, bitten. Go, went, gone. Type. What do we need from here? Regular and irregular. These parts or this group of verbs is regular, which means play, played, studied, studied. Irregular, which doesn't have a set form to conjugate. Type. These ones here, which is played, studied, worked, spoken, drawn, beaten, bitten, gone, they all come after the verb have or has or had. So whenever you have an auxiliary verb like have or has or had, what we use is taken, not took. يا فاشلة يا هنا يا اللي اخترتي took after had. Remember?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm kidding, of course, and you know that. Right.
Yes,
I have done a lot of work today. You see, because I have the word have, I say done, not did. My travelers have already gone so far. I say gone because I have the word have. Questions. The client had took his money before he left. Is it correct? Is this sentence correct? Yes or no? Yes, very good,
No,
Johanna, this
correct.
time. Yes, yes, very good, Jumana. It's incorrect. The client had taken his money before he left because of the word had. Type. How about this one? My teacher has taught me a lot. Is it correct? Is the sentence correct as it is? My teacher has taught me a lot. Yes, ya Juwayriya, very good, ya Yusuf, very good, ya Hannah. Very, very good. Participants are great today, mashallah. So yes, it's correct. How about this one? We've never went to the jungles. Is it correct? Oh, yeah, Joe, we're talking about the last sentence. We've never went to the jungle? My goodness. Good, ya Juman. Sorry, good, ya Hannah. Good, ya Rudy. Correct. Very good, ya Noor. No, ya Juju. No, ya Juwayriya. Unfortunately, you have to think again. Think of this back كده. It's wrong, ya shabab. We have never gone to the jungle. Actually, it should be we have never been to the jungle, but anyway, since we have the word have or has or had, it has to be gone, not went. Okay, that's as simple as this. So please answer question 34. Oh my God, Jumana is correct. Rudana is correct. MashaAllah. Anybody else? Juwayriya, Noor, Ahmad Sharif, Yusuf. Unfortunately, no, ya Noor. Unfortunately, no, ya ya Ziad. No, ya Hannah. Let me explain, please. Okay. طيب. Look يا شباب. I have to read the sentence from its very beginning. Unfortunately, no, ya Ziad. Let's see يا شباب. Do you suspect foul play, bid good riddance, or felt? Do we say, do you felt, or have you felt? What do you think? Do we say, do you felt, or have you felt? I believe it should be have. So I cannot use, yes, very good. Very good, very good, Yardaina, very good, yeah, Joe. So this means F is not correct, H is not correct. So I'm left out with G and J. What's different between G and J? J, do not begin new paragraph, which means the sentence is the same like what's being discussed before. J says begin new paragraph, which means you are starting to introduce a new idea, different from the idea that has been explained before. Just go back a little, one or two sentences. William Shakespeare's plays immortalized many of the words and expressions popular in this day. Have you ever said you were tongue twisted? Do you suspect, or have you suspected foul play, bid good riddance, felt like harmonica? If so, you were using words and phrases. So I think we need to start a new paragraph here. No, we don't need to start a new paragraph. I think it's about the same thing. It's even continuing. The question here is very relevant or very similar to the question here. So we don't need to separate this idea from the rest of the paragraph. So do not begin a new paragraph. Keep it the way it is. So the correct answer is G. Okay. Thank you very much for everyone who tried it. And thank you very much for those who got it right. Right, let's move on. You have a question? Okay, Anun. Let me re-explain it, please. Look, Yanur. Here, Habibti, we have, let's say, a compound question because it has 2 points, actually. Noor, you agree with me that we don't use like bid, I mean, past participles are used when we have the verbs like have or, remember this? Sorry, here. We had taken. I cannot say we do taken. No. Since we have a past participle, Yanur, so this simply means we need to have verb have or has. I cannot say, do you bid? Do you felt? No. From these verbs here, I understand they are past participle, and past participle requires what? Requires have or has or had. Right. Where do we have this? We have it only in G and J. So I cancel F, I cancel H. Right. Here I'm left out with G and J. J says, do not begin new paragraph. I mean, do not stop here and start this with a new paragraph like here. J says, begin a new paragraph. So it means like come here and stop here as an end of a paragraph and make this whole part on a separate paragraph, a new paragraph. I don't need to start a new paragraph, honey, because what I'm discussing here is the same like what I'm discussing here. So why should I separate this sentence from the rest if they are still about the same idea of the paragraph? So we separate only if we start introducing new ideas to the paragraph. Okay, this will be repeated, ya shabab. This question will come again, inshallah, in other examples. Okay, bid, bidden, bidden, like forbid, God forbid, bidden. All right.
Okay.
Okay, Habib. Right. Now we continue with our PowerPoint, which I hope you're enjoying. Okay. Question 34 is done. Right. Look here, ya shabab, because this is sometimes very confusing and you keep making silly mistakes. Actually, let me call them silly. I'm sorry, but they really are. Right. Double linking words. What do I mean by this? Make sure the linking word is needed and correctly used. That's what we discussed last time, if you remember, when we studied the linking words. Avoid double linking words. Read this very carefully, please. Avoid double linking words. What do I mean by this? Let's look here. Because of the bad weather, so the school canceled the trip. Is there anything that doesn't make sense here? Can you pick it? Or is it correctly used here? Do I have? Yes. Very good, ya Juju. Very good, ya Ahmed. Very good, ya Hannah. Yes, ya Shabab. طيب. Bad guys are everywhere. However, we still need to trust our beloved ones, though. Is there anything wrong here, ya Shabab? Is this sentence sensible? Does it make sense? Very good, ya Hannah. Anything else? Are you still examining the sentence? All right. Look at this. Okay. No, Yanur, it's not correct, honey. The second sentence is not correct. Type. The first sentence, ya Shabab, which has the word because of and so, both of these linking words do the same function. They introduce a cause and effect relationship. So I don't need both of them at the same time. This would be redundancy. Okay. طيب. How about this? However and though. Don't you think they both do the same function? The word however links between two contradictory sentences. The word though is also used at the end when there is a contradictory sentence to the previous one, which is redundancy. So please make sure not to make double linking words. Now, please answer questions 35 and 36. Yes, Shabab, very good. So 35 is D, 36 is J for these two reasons, as I explained. Let's go for the rest. We're done with 35 and 36. Common punctuation rules, Shabab. We have some common punctuation rules here that usually come in the test, and check your knowledge of the correct use of punctuation. We have something called a positive. We have to understand what an appositive is and how it's used and how it is built in a sentence. An appositive is a non-essential part of the sentence that can be deleted and still the sentence can make sense. For example, Tokyo, the capital city of Japan, is crowded. Sorry, this is of, not if. Sorry, it's typing mistake. Tokyo is crowded. Is there a difference here? I mean, in other words, let me say, if I say the sentence that way, does the sentence miss anything important or does it still make sense? What do you think? Does the sentence make sense that way? Tokyo is crowded?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. It still makes sense. Very good. Thank you very much. What I did is just I eliminated or deleted or omitted this part. And the sentence still makes sense. Yes, this means this part is non-essential. It's an appositive. It just adds extra information that I can live without, that the sentence can still make sense without. Mosquitoes, in spite of their weak bodies, can cause horrible problems. Of course, the sentence can go, mosquitoes can cause horrible problems, and it still makes sense. What should we do here? Surround the appositive with either two commas or two dashes. All you need to do is to know which part of the sentence is the appositive, which part of the sentence should be surrounded with commas, and where to put the commas. Okay? My English teacher, Mr. Millard, has recently got promoted. Is this sentence correctly using commas to surround an appositive? Do I have an appositive here, Aslan? My English teacher, comma, Mr. Millard, comma, has recently got promoted. Is it correct? It is correct. Yes, thank you very much. An apostrophe, ya Shabab. Yes?
Can I use two parentheses?
Yes, 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 correct. It's the third option actually, but yeah, when you have a parenthesis, you have to have the opening and the closing at the same time, because sometimes people see one of them and they still use it. How come? Right.
Okay.
An apostrophe, ya Shabab, In case of possession, we use an apostrophe if someone or something possesses or owns or has something else. In case of possession, we use an apostrophe S in this form with singular nouns, an S apostrophe in this form with plurals. What do I mean by this? Let's look. A girl's interest is different from a boy's. Can somebody tell me how many girls are mentioned here? A girl's interest is different from a boy's. Can somebody tell me, please, how many girls here?
One.
Only one girl. Very good, very good, very good, everyone. طيب. No, it's not generally. Yeah, Joe. It's not generally Habibi. I'm asking about how many girls. It's a. A means one, by the way, in English. A or an means one. So it's one girl. Since it's one girl, you see how the apostrophe S is used. It's used after the girl, apostrophe, then S. And it's the same with a boy's because it's only one boy here. Right. Look at the following example. Girls' interests are sometimes different from boys. Is this only one girl or many girls? Is this only one boy or many boys? What do you think? Yes, many. Very good, Ya Rudaina. Very good, Ya Juwairiya. Very good, Habaib. That's why, so the word girls here is plural. So I add the apostrophe after the S. The same idea here, because I'm talking about boys in plural. Okay, so again, when it was only one girl, apostrophe S. Many girls, S apostrophe. Many countries in Australia have big deserts. Do I need any apostrophe here, ya shabab? In other words, is there any possession? Is there any noun that possesses any other noun? No. Yes, you're all right. So I don't need any apostrophe here. So the sentence is correct. How about this one? A desert's biggest disadvantage is the lack of drinking water. A desert's biggest disadvantage is the lack of drinking water. Correct? Correct. Very good. Yes, because I'm talking about the biggest disadvantage of a desert, only one desert. Now look at this example. Camels can easily adapt to desert's weather. Is this correct now? Is the apostrophe or S apostrophe here correctly used? Rudaina, why do you think so, honey? Noor, type. Let's discuss it together. If I mean many deserts in general, and I mean the weather of the deserts in general, don't you think in this case the word deserts is plural, and with plural we add the apostrophe after the S? Don't you see that? I didn't say a desert, I said deserts in general. So that's why it is correct, ya shabab. It has no mistake. So be careful whenever you're using an apostrophe, make sure you're correctly using it. Type wrong comma. We said before, use the comma only when needed and only when you correctly used. Do not use a comma before a title. Do not use a comma before a preposition. Do not use a comma before anything that does not need a comma. Do not use a comma to separate a subject from its verb or an adjective from the noun it describes. Okay, now let's see these examples here. Dr. Anthony works with my father. Is this correctly used? Is this comma correct here? Dr. Anthony works with my father. Do I need this comma aslan? Let me see. No. Very good. Very good. So it's an unneeded comma, shabab. It should be Dr. Anthony works with my father without any comma. How about this one? It was amazing to meet Professor, Einstein. I have never met him, of course, but I feel great. It was amazing to meet Professor, Einstein. Is it correctly used now? Oh, no يا نونو. Good يا جويرية. Good يا هنا. Good يا جمانة. Professor Einstein, we do not need to separate the title from the name. That's how it should be. It was amazing to meet Professor Einstein without any commas. So again, ya shabab, be sure you're using the appositive correctly, surround it correctly. Be sure you are using the apostrophe correctly if you need it aslan. Yeah, sometimes you don't need it and it's in the options. Check whether you need it or not. Make sure you're using the comma correctly. And now please answer question 37 and 38. Now let me intervene, gentlemen and young ladies, and see how 37 is structured and how it should be answered. Iago, the villain of the tragedy Othello. The tragedy is called Othello, so I don't need to separate the word tragedy from the word Othello, so A is incorrect. It's the same idea here. It's the same idea. I need the comma here. I need the comma here. Okay, the villain of the tragedy Othello strives because the subject is here, Iago, and the verb is here, strives. And all this part is the appositive, ya shabab. That's why I explained two lessons together. This is the appositive where I have to use two commas. I have one already here after the word Iago, and the one I need is here in C. That's why the correct answer is C. And for 38, we have an apostrophe S or S apostrophe. I think Othello is one person. It's even a name of a character in a play, or the title of a play, actually. Iago falsely hints that Desdemona, the wife of Othello, is in love with one of Othello's officers. I mean, an officer belonging or related to Othello. So Othello is one singular noun. So I need it to be like this, one of Othello's officers in J. Okay, so it's neither. It's not F because Othello is not a plural word. It's not G because I need an apostrophe here. It's not H because of two reasons. We don't use a comma before the preposition, as we said before. We don't use S apostrophe with singular now. That's why the correct answer is J. Okay, and we're done with 37 and 38. Now, ya shabab, let's move on. Verb tense consistency. Jumana, you are one of the students who need this the most, but please give me just 1 second, please. I'm so much very sorry, ya shabab. I was plugging my computer to the charger because the battery is dying. It wouldn't last that long. Right. Verb tense consistency, everyone. Here it is. Make sure to use the correct form of verb in the correct tense that matches the context. Let me see an example. Type. Of course, we know that we have present simple, present continuous, present perfect, past simple, continuous, perfect, future simple, continuous, perfect, or progressive. Sometimes we call it progressive. Type. We have the verb speaks, is speaking, has spoken, sorry. All are correct. Spoke, was speaking, had spoken. All correct. Will speak, will be speaking, will have spoken. All correct. What's the issue here? The issue is when to use what. When do I say speaks or is speaking or has spoken? When do I say had spoken? When do I say has spoken? Let's see. My uncle bought me a nice dress while he was in Spain. Do you think this sentence is correct? Look at the two verbs. Are they consistent? Are they in the same tense? Is the sentence correct as is? As it is, I mean? Yes, 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 Juwayriya, very good. Both is in the past, was in the past, so that's logical. How about this one? We're too late, so we need to hurry. Is this sentence correct? We are, very good. Tenses are consistent here. Verb tense consistency type. Let's see this question. Many people arrived on time just before the show starts. Is there anything wrong here? Very good, Yajumana. Okay, very good يا جويرية. طيب, what should it be like? Oh, yes, that's the error. Very good يا هنا. No, yeah, no يا نور. It's not about commas يا حبيبتي. It's about verb tense consistency, honey. Very good يا جويرية. Very good يا رودينا. Very good يا زياد. هنا. Okay. Let's see how it is. It's wrong طبعا. Arrived, يبقى started. Many people arrived on time just before the show started. So I have to keep the tenses consistent. About this example, I'm expecting that you had an amazing time tomorrow at the party. What's wrong here? If there is anything wrong, of course. Okay. It's wrong. Yeah. Very good, يا رودينا. Yes, yes, it's wrong. Very good, يا أحمد يا شريف. No. Okay. Very good. Very good, يا شباب. Very good. Now I think you're right. You're all right. MashaAllah, it's wrong. I'm talking about tomorrow. I'm expecting that you will have tomorrow an amazing time. Okay, go. Let's go. Rudaina Muhammad, let's go, Habibti. I don't understand what you mean by go. Maybe it's a mistyping. All right. So it is not correct like this. It's correct like this because I'm talking about future type. What am I saying here, Shabab, is that you have to make sure the tense, check the tense of the context and keep all the verbs consistent, please, in the same tense. Now, please answer questions 39, 40, 41, 42. Okay. Okay, everyone, let me intervene, please. For 39, why is the answer A? The answer is A for 39. And why? Let me see from the beginning of the sentence as we agreed. We have to go back until we find the beginning of the sentence here. In Henry V, Shakespeare used his very term to describe how the names of King Henry's war heroes became. Yes, it was something in the past, Shabab. Shakespeare used and the heroes became, so that makes the tense consistent. So past simple with past simple. For 40, we have to take the sentence again from the very beginning. Let's see why the answer is J. Let's see. A recent film version of Henry V was was quite popular. Still, other terms that his plays have preserved include blah, 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 blah. Type. What is this sentence about? The sentence is about the film itself, or the film itself. And the paragraph is not about movies, not about films. It's about the effect of Shakespeare on the English language. He created a language called Shakespearean language. So it's not about movies. So I don't need it. I don't need either. This G is about the film. Again, those war heroes, it's not about the war heroes and the films. It's about Shakespeare and the idea that he affected or impacted the English language. So neither of these sentences is relevant to the topic of the idea of the paragraph. So I will not take any of them. So I will delete that. 41 are including, this is present continuous. Do we need it? Let's check. Still, other terms that his plays have preserved include. I cannot use the sentence, the word include with a colon, aslan. Okay? And I cannot omit it because if I say have preserved this, no. Sorry, because this is not the verb. The verb is here. Other terms that his plays preserved include. I need the verb here to be include because it's about the present. It's a fact. So it should be expressed with present simple. So the correct answer for 41 is C. 42 is about
Why can't I use Why can't I use included with a column?
That's redundancy, honey. That's redundancy. Look, حبيبتي. Look, I bought 3 items. Okay, a cap,
Mm.
a shirt, and a gown, let's say. Fine. What are these items? This is the list of what the items are. Okay, so I'm using the colon here. Let me magnify it. I'm using the colon here to introduce a list. So if I use the colon and the word include, I'm using redundancy because the word include introduces a list, and the colon also introduces a list. So if you use the word include with the colon, you are creating redundancy.
Okay.
Okay, حبيبتي. Okay, يا جماعة, I'll come back to you, honey. So the correct answer for 41 is C. Type 42. I think somebody sent me a question here. 39 question. What will we choose? Okay, yeah, honey. I will go back to 39 when I finish 42. 42 يا شباب is about vocabulary words. You have to know the difference between illusion and allusion. انتوا عارفين حتى بالعربي لما اقول لك ايه ده انت قلوده قوي. قلوده يعني ايه قلوده بقى؟ ها، حد يعرف يعني ايه قلوده بالعربي؟ What's قلوده in Arabic?
To mimic someone.
بتقلد يعني، صح؟ طيب يعني to
تقلد.
mimic بالظبط كده. على فكره قلوده قوي دي بقى جايه من allude to. When you allude to someone you act or do something like him or her. مش شرط تكون بتقلده عشان غيران منه ولا شايفه احسن منك، لا انت واخده قدوه. كوبي كات. ماشي. ماشي يا جويرية، حلوه الكوبي كات دي. طيب فهنا احنا we need to say that we also find Shakespeare's words in films. يعني لقينا films بتقلد او mimic Shakespeare's words, which means an allusions to, مش allusions of ولا illusion. illusion معناها سراب. يعني reality and illusion. reality versus illusion يعني الحقيقة والسراب. فallusion to Shakespeare's words يعني لقينا افلام بتقلد Shakespeare's words. It was about vocabulary. طيب ممكن تشدوا حيلكم معايا بس دقيقتين كمان please, if you don't mind. I know we have done enough today, but please يعني give me just 5 more minutes عشان ابقى honest معاكم. مش هقول 2 minutes واخد 5، خلينا 5 more minutes عشان نخلص الدرس ده على خير ونكمل الباسج دي. بصوا يا شباب, subject verb agreement is something that's very simple and easy. بس خلي بالك من حاجه مهمه جدا. beware the prepositional phrases. دايما بيخدعونا بالprepositional phrases. تعالوا نفتكر اصلا يعني ايه prepositional phrases. الكلمات اللي عماله تظهر قدامكم دي اسمها prepositions اللي هي on, in, at, with, within, along, around وهكذا. ف these words are called prepositions. طب ايه بقى prepositional phrase? The prepositional phrase is the preposition and the noun that comes after it. يعني ايه؟ يعني in the car, on the 3rd floor, within the 1st week, at school, of the big house, below the tree. كل دول الازرق دول اسمهم prepositional phrases. خلاص كده فهمنا يعني ايه prepositional phrase. تعالوا نخلي بالنا بقى منه عشان ساعات كتير بيضحك علينا بيه. بص يا سيدي. The rules in our newly established school. فين prepositional phrase هنا يا شباب؟ اهو. In our newly established school. طب انا ليه بقى علمت عليه؟ عشان اقول لك خلي بالك السبجكت هنا the rules والverb are. طب ما يضحكش عليك وتلاقي كلمه school جنب are فتقول لا school is. ايوه حبيبي لا, school دي is part of the prepositional phrase. السبجكت اهو the rules, but the rules are مش is. اوكي تعالوا نشوف example كمان. The lady with the 5 dogs has a problem. طبعا انت هتشوف dogs جنب has تقول لي لا dogs المفروض have. هقول لك لا, السبجكت هنا نخلي بالنا with the 5 dogs دي نشيلها من حساباتنا خالص. Don't even count it. فthe lady with the 5 dogs هي السبجكت the lady بس السبجكت بقى has صح. طيب برضو the classes on the 3rd floor, on the 3rd floor دي نخلي بالنا منها وما نفكرش فيها خالص, نفكر بس في the classes we close. the classes the plural subject يبقى closed مش closes. questions بقى يلا. many of the problems caused by your job is yours. is this sentence correct يا شباب؟ يلا answer this question please. many of the problems caused by your job is yours. Answers? Answers, please. Nope, 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 not correct يا فشلة. It's not correct at all, at all, at all. برافو يا جمانة حبيبتي، حبيبتي تربيتي بدأ معايا من بدري. برافو يا جوج. مع انك ساعات بتبقي فاشله زيهم، بس كويس النهارده فايقه ما شاء الله عليك. طيب بصوا حبايبي، هو مين السبجكت اصلا؟ بص كده، هي غلط. بص كده، many of the problems caused by your job are yours، لان الكلام على ايه؟ ده كده of the problems caused by your job، كل ده prepositional phrase. I will not count it. What I will count is this word many. هي many دي singular ولا plural؟ اكيد plural، يبقى طبعا هتبقى are مش is. طيب think of the coming one please, and make sure not to make the same mistake. One of my favorite places to visit are the park. Is this sentence correct? Favorite places to visit are the park. Is the sentence correct as it is? يا جامد يا هنا. Correct يا رودينا. Very good يا حبيبتي. Good يا نونو. Good يا نونو. نور, very good. يا جامد يا نور. You made it even better than what I was planning. Very, very good. تعالوا نشوف مع بعض كده يا شباب. The sentence is incorrect. Why? برافو يا جويري. Why? Let's look. One of my favorite places to visit is the park. ليه؟ بص كده. This is the prepositional phrase أهو. ده. Of my favorite places to visit. كل ده prepositional phrase. I will not count. I will count only this word. اللي هي قبل ال prepositional phrase والverb بيكون بعد ال prepositional phrase. فthis is what makes this is. عشان طبعا هي سوري هي one يا شباب مش on. أنا آسف جدا. هي one مش on. I'm very sorry, that's a typing mistake as well. I will correct it later. طيب يلا بقى آخر round. Answer questions 43, 44 and 45. Good luck. Okay, everyone, let's see 43 first. Of course, as we said, for instance, one, of course, the word one is singular, so one is not one are. So the correct answer for 43 is B. Everyone got it right. Thank you very much. 43 is B. And 44, we need to use the correct comma. Given Shakespeare's strong presence in speech, of course, we don't need this before the preposition in. So مع السلامة يا F, we don't use, as we said, commas before prepositions. 44 is H because it's the only one that's using the commas correctly. We don't need this comma. We need this one only here before the main part of the sentence, which is it seems like. The subject is here, the verb is here. All what comes before that is just an introductory phrase. So we separate the introductory phrase from the main phrase or the main sentence with a comma. That's correct. 45, everyone suffered from it. Let's see, ya shabab, what 45 is about. The writer wishes to conclude the sentence and the essay by referring to a main theme of the essay. I remember the main theme of the essay was about the vocabulary words that Shakespeare created or impacted or affected the English language with. Let's see what the sentence we have in the context says. It seems likely that even in the future, he will continue to be a popular author. Being popular author is not the focus of the essay, ya shabab. Is not the focus of the essay. Hannah is the first, or actually the second one to get it right. Very good, ya Hannah. So there will be no escaping his influence on the English language. That's exactly and very straightforwardly the topic of the essay. Thank you so very much, everyone. The session today was very enriching. I hope you have all benefited from it. So please, if you have any questions, stay. If not, have a very, very good night. Good luck and goodbye. If you have questions, I'm all ears.